We're here at the Machine Solutions showroom in Jasper, Indiana, showing the Viet S2 three-head planer sander that we have in stock. It is a 43-inch width capacity machine, and the first head being the planer. It's a helical knife planer head with insert knives for easy maintenance and simple to change, and those knives can be rotated 4 times. Then you're followed by a medium aggressiveness sanding head to take off the knife marks from the left from the planer head. So you're going to move a few thousandths of an inch with that particular head. And right behind that is the finishing head, which is a combination drum and platen. And that's going to be your finishing head to get that maybe to a 180 grit or 150 grit finish, depending on the application. So I've got all the doors open to see the inside of this machine and trying to get some close-ups. You're seeing the way we change a belt here. Just a simple pull the lever, this comes out, and you change the belt by placing it over the idle rollers on the top. There's some guides in there to guide the belt in, as you can see there. And then there's a pneumatic tensioning switch in here that you just pull this out, and the head retracts and expands to tension the belt automatically. I'll do that again with the movement of the device right there. And that'll be in the belt removal position. Same thing for this second head. And the planer head, when you do service it, you have to loosen these bolts right here. This whole unit comes out. Just pull it way out so you can service it right out here in the open. Very nice feature. It's a massive planer head, large diameter planer head to take a pretty significant bite if your glued up panels are mismatched and you need to take a lot of stock off. Then we'll switch over to the controls here. Very simple controls. Also shows the meter shows how many amps you're pulling per motor. So if you're taking too much off, it will tell you that. There's some settings here right there for the pneumatic sanding head. On the finishing head on the back, you can have pneumatic air flotation. You can actually sand veneer on this machine. So you can sand wood veneer and solid wood on this machine. The planer head is this position 1. And it, by simply flipping this switch, you can go take that head right out of the configuration. It will not touch the part that's being fed through. If you do not want to plane, let's say you're running a veneer panel, obviously you don't want to hit that with a planer head. So that's that simple to remove that without setting anything else. Just a simple flip of the switch there, and the planer head's in or out of the cut. Same thing on head number 2, in or out. If you want to drop it down, drop it out of the sand cut, and the same thing on number 3. Very simple controls. These are your controls for the thickness to set your workpiece, which you can also do automatically here with the auto set. So you can see the arrow there. If I put my panel inside, it will measure that. It's very accurate, like you would use a micrometer. And you even have a fine adjustment here. If you want to say I want to take off a half a thou or whatever, you can dial that in after you've set the main thickness. But basically you measure that when you insert it, and you hit the go button on the controls, and the table will move to that exact position. So there's no measuring required. This is a panel here that was unsanded right out of the molder and glued up. This is a very clean panel. It's not much stock removal is going to be required here. And then here is an example of a part that was ran through the planer sander. Kind of hard to see on the video here, but that's a big thick part. Looks to be about 1.5 inches in thickness, which will be 6/4 lumber, and pretty much can finish that off in one pass per side. You flip it around and run it back through, Here we have just a view of the electronic cabinet that's over and above the feed station. Very clean electronics. ABB is the main drive. And we have Eaton and Siemens controls, very much off the shelf type of componentry. And there's your main power coming in. So a very clean cabinet that sits right behind the in-feed. So there's what that looks like, the in-feed of the machine looks like. Now my favorite part of the machine, it actually shows how this machine's put together and how the rigidity of a sander or a planer sander is very important to not transfer chatter to your work surface. You're trying to finish this out and with a nice smooth panel. You don't need chatter. So you can see close up how thick the steel is on this machine. Everything is welded. There is no angle iron, no nuts and bolts like a lot of the Asian imports that you'll see out there for a lot less money. This is a lifetime machine. You can see how the heads are double bolted, top and bottom, to the frame. So that this is mounting, this is where your rollers mount to go all the way across that 43-inch dimension of your machine. This is a very important construction feature. You can see all the plates that tie both the top frame to the bottom frame and hold these drums in position. So the combination of the rigidity of the frame and how these rollers, these working units are mounted is the secret behind Viet. They do it better than anyone else. Again, more of the thickness. That plate is looks to be half-inch thick plate, all stress relieved and welded. Box construction is what they call it. And you see some of the air controls for the tracking of the belts, electronic over air tracking. There is an electronic sensor there that will sense that edge of that belt at all times as it tracks back and forth. So that's the business side of the sander. And then we have a good view here of the outfeed with the waffle belt, and then the extended table for some of your larger parts, might be longer parts. They won't fall on the floor if you don't have a person standing back here at the moment when the part comes out. Here's the items that you'll find in the box that comes with the machine, all the manuals and some tools. And here is the drive for the conveyor belt. Very robust all the way around. And this machine is ready for immediate shipment.